All right, so we got the only 9 characters that can beat the one above all, bro. Like, oh, the fuck? I'm guessing it's gonna be mostly like DC slash well characters, because I don't know if there's any anime characters that can actually beat to one above all. I'd say maybe Feathering, but the problem is she's still, I don't know, bro. I don't know much about Feathering. All I know is that she can like rewrite her stories, shit like that. But does that mean that she would be able to rewrite another story too? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure, bro. I would say Hajun maybe, but I don't know. Maru maybe. I'm not sure either, but it's a little hard, bro.
To defeat the one above all.
Anyway,
in this video, you will learn about the 9 characters who can solo the one above all. First, I have to explain the one above all.
Go ahead.
He is the supreme being of Marvel Comics.
Alright.
Within Marvel canon, Toaa is presented as the source of the entire multiverse and all cosmic entities. He stands above the living tribunal, the Beyonders.
Yeah, basically he's at the top of the top of the top. He God, bro. You know, he's not. You can't really say he's God because there are gods in Marvel, so it's more appropriate to call him the creator than a god, because I would say it has different meanings, because Thor is a god, but he's not the one above all. You know what I'm saying? So it's more appropriate to call him the creator than. I would say it's more appropriate to call him the creator than a god, because there are like gods. There are like Odin, there's Zeus, there's Thor. You know what I'm saying? And then even these gods, there are beings that are higher than them, like the living tribunal, the Beyonder, blah blah blah. And then above them all, there is the one above all, which means it's not really appropriate to call him a god. It's more appropriate to call him the creator.
Hierarchy in Marvel's structure. He is written as the final authority within that cosmology. He is the top. No one is close to him.
Does he have 3 faces?
Nothing stands above him, except maybe those 9 characters.
And that's
so without losing time, let's continue and see who they are and how big their chances are. We will start with the Leviathan, which have 30% winning chance.
What the hell is that?
Now let me explain why. For those who are not familiar with the Leviathan, he is not a fat whale. He is a metafictional force from the unwritten that represents the collapse of stories themselves. Leviathan.
So he's kind of like the collective. He's the collection of all the stories that have collapsed. And what the fuck is the unwritten? I've never heard of this. I've never heard of the unwritten. So I'm guessing that means basically all stories that collapsed came together and formed Leviathan? Or am I seeing... you know what?
I'm embodies the anti-story, a force that erodes narrative coherence. Instead of fighting inside a narrative, Leviathan destabilizes it from a higher level. It operates beyond normal story logic, threatening even author-level constructs by attacking the foundation of fiction itself. Leviathan isn't defined by omnipotence or creation. Its significance lies in representing the entropy.
Wait a minute. That's not a fucking whale. That's a bunch of things that makes up a whale. Oh, hell nah, yo. What the fuck is
narrative reality. The idea that stories can break down and cease to hold together.
Oh, wow.
As we can all see.
But the one above all exists above stories. He's the one that creates stories. You know, from what I'm seeing, he wouldn't really have, I guess he said 30%. Yeah,
represents the breakdown of stories themselves. And if the story loses its structure, there's nothing left for Toaa to rule over. Next is the Scarlet King with a 33% winning chance.
What is that?
And let me tell you why. The Scarlet King is a central figure in the SCP mythos, portrayed not simply as...
I keep hearing about the SCP things. What the fuck are they, bro? What are the SCP, and from what like fiction or universe are they from? Where can I like read a story about the SCPs, or are these just something that people created just out of nowhere? I'm so confused. I've made some research, but all I can see me is the classification of SCPs. Where the fuck do they come from, bro? I still don't understand this.
As a powerful entity, but as a primordial force of chaos and anti-structure. Scarlet King exists before ordered reality, before causality, and before the systems that hold existence together. Rather than ruling over a universe, the Scarlet King represents opposition to creation itself.
So he's
a force that seeks to tear down structure, hierarchy, and narrative coherence.
So he's destruction.
Entire civilizations and cosmic systems within the SCP cosmology are
bro.
portrayed as unable to defeat him.
I would not want to fight
only
this
delay
shit, bro.
or contain aspects of his influence. He does not simply conquer universes, he undermines the order that allows universes to function. Toaa represents structured supremacy. The Scarlet King represents existence before structure.
But just because there's nothing for him to rule over doesn't mean that he's any weaker, bro. I'm like, that's what I'm like kind of confused about. Just because there's nothing for Toaa to rule over doesn't mean that he loses his power. He can just literally recreate the same shit, bro. Like I'm so confused.
And if
why
the
this
structure
matters.
collapses, Toaa would collapse with it. The third in
But
this
he
list
exists above the structure, so he wouldn't be affected by it. Am I bugging, or am I really just not understanding? If the structure collapsed, it wouldn't affect him as he exists above the structure. He's not part of the structure. He made the structure. Am I misunderstanding something? Like, I don't get it. Maybe I'm
is SCP-2747 with a
fucking
winning chance of
SCP.
37%.
Where the fuck do they come from,
Let me explain
bro?
this beauty. SCP-2747 is an anomaly within the SCP Foundation universe that represents the erasure of fiction itself. It isn't a monster, a deity, or a traditional reality warper.
What? So
Instead, it manifests when a story fails to properly qualify as a story within certain narrative conditions. When triggered,
so it wouldn't appear. What the fuck? All the story that Toaa create are qualified as story. How would they not qualify? Wait, maybe he's gonna explain.
This SCP removes the right of the multiverses and structures to exist. There are no explosions, no visible devastation. The narrative simply collapses, and the entire construct disappears as if it never existed.
I mean, the one above all, exists within the Marvel story, I guess you could say. But I don't think this woman would whatever this SCP would appear before the Marvel universe. How Marvel is an incredible story that you cannot say it doesn't qualify as a story. There's no way that this SCP would appear. So I don't know, bro. I don't know.
What makes this SCP especially unusual is that it has no physical form, no confirmed gender, but fans keep drawing it like a hot mommy for unknown reasons. This SCP
fans of what, bro? I still don't know where the fuck does the SCP thing come from. SCP Foundation. Is this something that people just randomly created, or that really exists as a storyline? Or multiple storylines that are happening at the same time? Or are they just creatures that somebody randomly started creating and don't really have a story? They just said, you know what, I'm gonna create a bunch of creatures and that's it. I don't know. What is SCP, bro?
Toaa with force. It erases the conditions that allow Toaa to appear on the page at all. No page, no panel, no presence. Next is the legend itself, pre-retcon Beyonder.
The Beyonder, I was thinking, the Beyonder.
Not everyone knows this Beyonder in the right way. Let me explain it well.
Because he was the god of Marvel before Toaa was made, right? So he would technically be on the same level or even stronger than Toaa, bro.
Pre-retcon Beyonder was portrayed as something far beyond the Marvel multiverse itself. This version existed completely outside the entire Marvel reality structure. The multiverse, including eternity, infinity, and even the living tribunal, was described as insignificant compared to him, like a drop of water in an endless ocean. He could erase cosmic abstracts, override death, reshape existence casually, and rewrite reality without resistance.
But when you say reality of the Marvel universe, I mean, obviously, why did I ask that?
It was written as a being whose power dwarfed everything inside creation.
Wow.
He did not originate within the multiverse. He observed it from beyond and entered it by choice.
Which is why
he could alter laws of existence, remove concepts, and reshape all realities simultaneously. The original Beyonder stood apart from the system entirely, treating the whole of Marvel's cosmology as something finite compared to his own existence.
So where does the Beyonder come from? And if he comes from the beyond the universe, are there others beyond like him, or is this like he's really just the only one? I'm talking about pre-retcon because I think I saw somewhere, like I think it was a TikTok post, that the Beyonders are a race at this moment in time in Marvel, in the current Marvel, the Beyonders are a race of people.
But that is not all of it. Strong. He was so great that even the writers and authors bowed their heads to him.
Wait, what?
If Toaa governs creation from within Marvel's hierarchy, the Beyonder once treated that entire hierarchy as something smaller than himself, which means that he is the only one in Marvel who has a chance to overpower Toaa. Next is Azathoth, aka the Blind Idiot, with a winning percentage of 42%.
Is this an outer god from the Fate series, or is this another SCP?
Azathoth is an entity that exists at the center of all existence. Unlike typical supreme beings who consciously rule over creation, Azathoth is portrayed as mindless and unaware, surrounded by other cosmic entities that keep him in a sleep with endless songs. In several interpretations of the mythos, all of reality is implied to exist as part of Azathoth.
Oh, you mean in all mythologies? Isn't Azathoth a fallen angel or something? I could swear it was the name of a fallen angel or something like that. Am I bugging?
Dream. If he were ever to awaken, existence itself would collapse. Not through destruction, but because the dream sustaining it would simply end. He does not issue commands or shape reality intentionally. Instead, his very existence underlies everything. So if everything is part of his dream, then even supreme beings like the one above all exist because the dream continues. Up next is SCP-3.
He created another SCP, bro. Oh my god, wait. So Azathoth created all of the thing as he was asleep. All of it, the creation was created through his sleep or exists through his sleep. What type of crazy shit is this now? What the fuck is going on, bro?
812, aka the voice behind me, with a 45% winning chance. As we all know, this SCP was once a human named Sam Howell. But after exposure to
now there's gotta be a story, bro. There's gotta be some kind of a storyline. What the fuck are the SCPs? I need an answer to this. And where can I go to read the story of this? And what is the name of this whole... Is it SCP found? No, I don't know, bro. I need an answer to this.
Anomalous phenomena, he began experiencing reality in layers far beyond normal perception. Unlike most powerful entities in fiction, he does not simply manipulate reality.
So he's a human that ascended to surpass everything. Like he exists beyond everything. Alright,
he becomes aware of the structures that define it. He perceives higher narrative layers above his own existence, including the awareness of authors writing his story. As he recognizes these layers, he transcends them, ascending beyond each framework that contains him.
Oh wow.
This process does not stop.
So he's kind of above our reality then? Because if he realizes that somebody is writing his story, that means that he ascended beyond that, and I'm confused and lost, bro. I don't know what's going on. I need to read the shit, but I don't know where the fuck the SCP comes from, bro. I need an answer.
The level is identified, he rises past it. His existence represents infinite recursive transcendence, a being who climbs beyond every layer of structure he becomes aware of, making him one of the most unusual and conceptually extreme entities in metafictional discussions. As we all understand, the moment he recognizes a higher structure, he rises above it. If Toaa is the highest layer,
is it like immediately, or does it take time? Because if it does take time, then Toaa still has the time to defeat him before he does. But if it's instantly, then there ain't really no competition here.
1812 doesn't fight it. He climbs past it. Next is the Presence, which has a 50% chance of winning.
Yeah, this old man is Marvel counterparts. But does that mean that the Presence is stronger than all of those that came before him? Including the SCPs? Because apparently these niggas are just bugging fucking crazy ass entities.
Portrayed as the supreme source of the DC cosmology.
He's the counterpart of Toaa in the DC universe.
Origin of creation.
They're kind of
heaven,
the same, bro.
hell, and the multiverse itself. Within DC canon, the presence
Nigga
stands
said,
above
should I
cosmic
repair creation or
entities,
destroy it?
angels,
What
and
the
metaphysical
fuck?
forces, functioning as the ultimate authority behind existence. Characters such as Lucifer Morningstar and Michael Demiurgos derive their power from aspects of his creation, and even the most powerful beings in
Aren't they his
DC
sons?
operate within a system that ultimately traces back to
I
him.
could swear I've seen a
Just
video
like the
that
one
talked
above
about
him, the presence is
them, and they were his son or something like this, which I still don't understand how. Cause who the fuck would he have cracked to have sons? that's like, I'm super confused about this.
everything in DC. Nothing can happen without his allowing it to happen. Everything is under his absolute command. If TOAA is Marvel's source, the presence is DC's source.
Yeah,
and
they're
when
just
two origin
counterparts.
points collide, it isn't about power. It's about which cosmology stands higher. And I am going to ask you to comment on who you think has a higher cosmology
what the
and why.
fuck?
The 8th is the writer with a 60% chance of winning. For
Yeah,
those
the
who don't
writer
know him,
is
the
the one that
writer
wrote
is a
everything.
metafictional character from Animal Man, representing the author Grant Morrison. Unlike cosmic beings who rule over universes within the fiction, the writer exists one level above the story, aware that everything happening
But
is part of a
he's
constructed
still part of the story, right? Because he's in the panels, so he's still in the story. You know what I'm saying?
narrative. He can
I
alter
don't
events
know.
simply by deciding to write them differently. He is not defined by
Write or
strength,
draw? Because it seemed like he was drawing.
speed, or cosmic energy, but by creative authority. Characters inside the story are subject to his decisions because he determines what happens next.
Yeah.
However, it is important to note that this version of the writer is still a fictional representation
That's what
of an
I'm saying,
author,
'cause he's
not the real
inside.
world human creator. He functions as a metafictional layer above the characters in his story, embodying the idea that stories are shaped by his hand. The writer doesn't need to overpower Toaa.
He can just
He can
erase
rewrite
them.
the script. If Toaa is a character inside a story, the writer can
eraser
change what that
and
story
erase
says with ease. The last one is the reader with a 100% chance of winning.
I mean,
The reader is
yeah. If you don't open the book, then he doesn't really exist.
isn't a character. He
Yeah,
is
they-
you. The one holding the comic, watching the video, or scrolling the page. In metafictional stories like Animal Man and Deadpool,
If
it's
you don't
hinted that
read
the
them,
highest
they're
authority
gone.
isn't the heroes, the cosmic beings,
It's always
or
a reader.
even the
Not,
writer.
no
It's the
cap.
one-
It's always the reader, bro. I've seen it all, like in Marvel and in DC. I've seen it a lot, and I've seen it in a lot of stories too.
experiencing the story. Without the reader, there
In
is
a lot
no
of books
active
that I've read,
narrative, no
this
panels, no
this
dialogue.
is straight up mentioned, and even the writers say it themselves. The readers are always that has the highest power over the books, the stories. You know what I'm saying? You see it all in a lot
no
of
existence in motion.
writers and
You
interviews and
exist
shit like
completely
that.
outside time, continuity, and fictional rules. Even the writer depends on you, because if no one reads the page, the
Then he
story
doesn't
has
even
no impact.
Exactly, he
In
doesn't
that
really
sense,
exist.
you, my friend, stand at the highest external vantage point possible, beyond every character, every
Chill.
author insert, and every fictional hierarchy.
Chill, bro. Chill.
The
Yeah,
reader
fictional hierarchy, technically. But what if we are part of a fictional hierarchy? What if we are part of a fictional hierarchy, bro? And we're simply not aware of it? I guess it doesn't change anything, because how our fictional hierarchy would be higher than the one that are created by us. I don't know if that made sense, or if that just didn't make sense at all, but to me it makes sense in my head. If you didn't understand, it's your fault, not mine.
doesn't fight. The reader closes the book or burns it, and it's
And
game over.
the character doesn't
Well,
exist.
we've given our take, but what's yours? If there's
No go lie. This was informative. Now I just need some info on the SCPs, bro. Please tell me in the comments, what the fuck are the SCPs? I have no idea. I've always been super interested in the SCPs and shit, but I don't want to like search it up and then I get a bunch of info done. No, I want to read it, and like, if there is a story, I want to read the story, learn how these beings came to be, their story, and how the fuck they work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get an info dump, like I go on the wiki and then I get a bunch of info on the SCP. Nah. I want like a structured story. Just not okay. This entity appeared from nowhere and has this power, such and such and such. Description, da 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 da. Nah, bro. I don't want that shit. I'm not trying to read all of that, bro. I want a fucking story, my nigga. That's what I like to read. Not info dumb, bro. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I can read it. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. Just, you know what I'm saying? I've always preferred reading a story over just reading information. But I can do it, so it doesn't really matter. But I just prefer a story, bro. That's all.